My Bambu Lab P1S nozzle is somehow blocked, and I tried to get it going, but it didn't work, so I will take apart the whole unit. For that, you take off the magnetic cover, and as you can see, it's an easy plug up there that you can just take out from this connector. And then you can take out this connector and this connector. These are these two cables. And then first thing you could do is you could loosen these two screws, because when the whole unit is still attached, it's easy to loosen these. And then you take out this screw, and this screw. And then you can also take out this little plug up here. And then you can take out the whole unit and start to disassemble that unit. To get the hot end and the extruder out, you have to untighten the screw. It is like quite a lot, you have to untighten it. And then you can freely move the cutter. And this is also the way how you will be able to change the blade if necessary. I think mine has to be changed, but I don't have one yet, so I have to get one and then change it soon. Once the unit is out, you can fully loosen these two screws, and then you can slide out the hot end. You can just pull down the hot end, and then you can treat this separate from everything else. So there should be a hole, but somehow it is blocked and it is not coming enough filament out of my nozzle. And this is also the part you need if you want to change the gears. And if you want to do that, you have to loosen these 4 screws, and then you can take out the side screw here, which you can also do before, but I like to open this first, because then I see how much I have to loosen this, because there's a little spring in it that keeps it under tension. Another thing where it can get locked or blocked is up here with these two, if you open these two. So first I'm gonna open the big one, and then I'm gonna open the small one. So after the screws are out, you can take that away, and you can screw this one out, and you see how far it has to go, so that the spring inside has no tension anymore. Then you can also move the gray one a little bit to the side, and you might be able to get out the yellow, and if not, you have to use some force, or you might have printed the appropriate tool to get this out. I don't do it now because with one hand it's difficult. So then you get them out. This is the hardened version of the gear, but as you can see, it is clean. There is nothing on it, nothing is stuck there. And as you can see with the brown one, it's the same, and inside here there's also nothing stuck anywhere. So we're gonna open the other side and we're gonna see. So this one should fall out now. Yep, there it is. And as you can see, this one is all clean, and there's also no issue with this one. So after taking out these 2 screws and loosen the tape from the side, you should be able to take this one out. So it came out with no issue and no force, and as you can see, this path is fully clear. There's nothing in it. And here, where the filament goes in, you can also see that there is no extra debris stuck anywhere. And if you see this little spring here, works well as well, this little switch or what it is, and there you can look through. There's nothing stuck in here as well, so this is clean. So the issue is somewhere in the end of the nozzle, somewhere in this piece, because I was able to clean this all up yesterday, but here I didn't go any further, so there must be a block somewhere. First I put it all back together so that this part is one unit again. It's back together, everything is back in place. The screw for the spring, I tighten it all the way down because I've seen that in a Bambu Lab video, and I also think it only fits like that into the printer. Only there's limited space on the side, so you have to screw it in a lot. Nothing has to be in super tight, right? So now we can take apart the hot end. For that we loosen these 2 screws from the fan to take that one off. Then we take off this silicone protector or whatever it is for. We can just pull it down, and underneath there's a metal spring that you also just pull down, and then we can disassemble the heater from the metal piece. So this metal piece can just be pulled down, and then the small heat plate with the 2 white cables can be taken off from the metal part. And it's not that easy, you have to pull quite hard, and keep in mind to remember the orientation. So this one, this thing that presses this down with 1, goes on top of the heating element, and the 2 separate sides, they go underneath. So let's say in this case on the back side of the nozzle. You can see the 2 scratches, they come from these 2 things. After you get out the cables, the heat plate will fall off instantly, usually, and then you have to get out this, I guess it's a sensor, out of the nozzle. There's a little hole, you have to take that out of there. And then you can take the new hot end, or the new nozzle you have, and you can reinstall some heat paste, which also came with the printer. It's like the thermal paste here, the silver one, and you apply it not only where the hole is, so not only here, you also apply it on this surface before you press the cleaned heat pad back onto it. The heat paste is on the new nozzle, and it is, yeah, I don't know if it's enough or not, I never did it before, and the hole is filled. So when I press it on and when I reinstall the bracket, I will be sure if it is enough or not. There's also a new bracket that came with the printer, but mine still looks so good that I keep mine. And the heat bed is cleaned, so it's easy to wipe off, you don't need any special cleaner for that. Sensor is clean, and thermal paste is plenty left, so it might even be enough for a second use if it doesn't dry out. The fan is reinstalled by the 2 screws, and the silicone cap is slided over, and be aware that at the top of it there are 2 little hooks in the silicone that you can also flip over the nozzle metal part so that it is sitting real tight and really good. It's difficult to see in the video, but once you get it off you will definitely understand. And now the hot end can go back into the rest of the extruder or into the extruder case and can be screwed in by the 2 screws. And then the whole thing can be reassembled into the printer. The thermal paste fits pretty well into the back of the new nozzle, so that is good because it's airtight and it might help it to survive. And before you reinstall it, you can check it again that all the screws are tight, everything is in shape, like these 2 screws, these 2, if you torque them out, the 4 on the back, and that the cables of these 2 plugs are back in the cable guide here, the little black one, and that the tape for the small plug up here is also in position. To me it always looks a little bit in an angle, this nozzle, but it seems to be correct. So after you put back all the plugs, the screws and the PETG or PET hose that comes from the top that is guiding the filament, and also the filament cutter screw, you can plug in the cover and then you can just snug it on with the magnets and everything should be back in place, and now you can start feeding it with fresh filament.